करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं
नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 25th chapter, the glories of devotional service. And we'll recite some verses, not all verses. So we'll begin from text number 12, translation, and then we'll recite translation of some verses, and then we'll recite some specific verses. Natri said, after hearing of his mother's uncontaminated desire for transcendental realization, the Lord thanked her within himself for her questions. His face smiling, he explained the path of transcendentalists who are interested in self-realization. So, for the genuine inquiry of a devotee, Srila Prabhupada in purport 1 line, I'll read just from the purport, by saying that unless one is interested in understanding his spiritual life or his constitutional position, and unless he also feels inconvenience in material existence, his human form of life is spoiled. So in human form of life, one should feel what? Two things. Interested in understanding who am I. You should be having this understanding. And what is the second thing? So one should feel. So if you are not able to think, that means human form of life is meant for asking questions and thinking. Think that why I am suffering. There's so much problems here, and why so much problems is there. Not just keep trying to adjust. So if one is not able to do that, then his human form life is spoiled. And as soon as one starts feeling that why I am suffering, why all this thing, who am I actually? And why I am put in this place, and what is my real existence? So unless these questions are there, human form like this spoiled. So in that way, the questions by Dehuti are very, very interesting and very relevant. So I'll also read the last part of this purport. I'll just read the whole purport from that point. One who does not care for these transcendental necessities of life and simply engages like an animal in eating, sleeping, fearing and mating has spoiled his life. Lord Kapila was very much satisfied by his mother's question because the answers stimulate one's desire for liberation from the conditional life of material existence. Such questions are called apavarga vardhanam. Those who have actual spiritual interest are called sat or devotees. Satam prasangat. Sat means that which eternally exists, and asat means that which is not eternal. Unless one is situated on a spiritual platform, he is not sat, he is asat. And the asat stands on a platform which will not exist, but anyone who stands on a spiritual platform will exist eternally. So that's why all our talks, discussions and thoughts, if they are about temporary things, And we should know that we are standing on Asat platform, and this platform will be finished. It's waste of time to keep thinking about these things. And also what Asat does is also properly explained. As a spirit soul, everyone exists eternally. But the Asat has accepted the material world as a shelter. And therefore he is full of anxiety. What is the verse? Sada samudvigna dhyam asat grahat. So if the intelligence has taken temporary things as very important, then what happens? Sada samud, always full of anxiety. Samud udvigna means anxiety. Samudvigna means full of anxiety. And sada samudvigna means always full of anxiety. So always he is thinking how this, because he has taken temporary thing लेंगे तो anxiety हो गई because वो तो 100% जाने वाला है. कोई सोच रहा है पैसा ही सब कुछ है, but money 100% going to go. This body is all the nonsense. He is working hard, going to test of the doctors. The body is going to die anyways, right? कितना भी आप जाओगे तो Similarly, all the relationships in this material world, at one point of time they will all be finished. Hence, investing in anything in this material world is what? Waste of time. It will be lost. So one should understand. And it's going to cause, that's why, a lot of anxiety. Asat Grahan, the incompatible situation of the spirit soul who has the false idea of enjoying matter is the cause of souls being Asat. Actually, the spirit soul is not Asat. There is too many mosquitoes. There is some way to work on that. Because to be able to do some, you can have some. Okay. As soon as one is conscious of this fact and takes to Krishna consciousness, he becomes Sat. Satam Gati, the path of eternal, is very interesting to persons who are after liberation. And his Lordship Kapila began to speak about that path. So all verses are so beautiful. Okay, let's recite some of the verses for the next 10 minutes and then we'll begin the discussion. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Yoga Adhyatmika Pumsam Mato Nishreyasaya Me Atyanto Paratir Yatra Dukkhasya Cha Sukhasya Cha. The person of God had answered, the yoga system which relates to the Lord and the individual soul, which is meant for the ultimate benefit of the living entity, and which causes detachment from all happiness and distress in the material world, is the highest yoga system. What are the three characteristics of the highest yoga system? First one is
relates to Lord and
if there should be a sambandha between Krishna and devotees, right? Krishna and the Jiva. So living entity, Atma and Paramatma should be getting connected. So that is there. Second, it should be for the ultimate benefit. It should not be talking about, okay, you go to Krishna and get some material things and again stay stuck in this material world. No. It should be talking about the ultimate benefit of the living entity. And third thing is that it should cause detachment from the sources of misery, right? From this material world. So it's called detachment. If detachment is not coming, virakti, that is not coming, then we cannot say it's a good yoga system, right? Instead of detachment, if attachment to material world is coming, then it is a bhoga system, right? Not yoga system, right? So that is not what is should be there. So that's why. And from detachment from what? From all happiness and distress. That is very important. So dukkhasya cha sukhasya cha. So one should become detached from some nice things by which one becomes happy in this material world, and also from the things by which one becomes restless. So this is very important. That is the highest thing. We'll go to the next verse. Tammimam te pravakshami yammavocham puranaghe
Yamavocam Puranaghe
rishinam shrotu kamanam
Rishinam Sukamana
yogam sarvanga naipunam.
Yogam Sarvanga Naipunam.
O most pious mother, I shall now explain unto you the ancient yoga system which I explained formerly to great sages. It is serviceable and practical in every way. Srila Prabhupada talks about the parampara system. That this is something, nothing new has to be taken out. Even Lord Kapila, being the Supreme Person of Godhead, he is also saying what? I am going to give you something which is being spoken in the past also. I'm not going to give some new. अभी वो सब पुरानी बातें होगी भागवतम और भगवद गीता की. अभी हम एक नया आपको सिस्टम देंगे, उससे आपको कुछ स्पेशल फायदा होने वाला है. Like that, there are many people who cheat. Especially, this can happen to anyone who is looking for shortcuts. Right? We have discussed this point before also, that if we look for, already Srila Prabhupada has given us the best thing, and everything what has been given is based on Shastras. So when we try to find someone who is advertising that you come to me, I am going to give you much swifter and faster method. See, आप इतने दिनों से how they generally advertise is that first of all they will tell you, for so long you have been practicing chanting Hare Krishna, कुछ हुआ तुमको, कुछ फायदा हो रहा है, अनर्थ जितने थे वही अभी भी है कि नहीं, है कि नहीं, है ना, अभी भी है, और अभी भी आपको सब गया नहीं. इसका मतलब क्या है, ये सब वर्क नहीं कर रहा है. So now you understand that there is some secret which has not been told to you. Come to me, and that secret is, will destroy your spiritual life, and after that you will be finished. The end of your spiritual life. So hence, we should understand we should not be attracted by shortcuts. We should have faith in the Vedas and the scriptures. And the scriptures are giving the first process, and hence the devotees will not give you some new process. When you go to devotees, that Prabhu ji, कुछ बेस्ट का कुछ स्पेशल कोई फार्मूला बताइए. And devotees tell you to intensify your reading the scriptures, hear lectures, do menial services, serve devotees, please devotees. अरे प्रभु जी सुन थक गया, कुछ नया कुछ बताइए ना, कुछ स्पेशल फार्मूला. ऐसा फार्मूला कि उसको बस अप्लाई करते एकदम से अचानक से डस्ट पूरा गायब हो जाए. ऐसा कुछ नया कुछ मेथड कुछ है क्या? And that method is very secret. I'm not told to anyone till now. Please, I'll tell you, come bring your ears here. So someone is doing like this, that there's no such method given in any of the books, any of the scriptures. It is a very special method I have discovered and I have found out. I'm going to do. That means that it's something very, very dangerous for our spiritual life. So we should understand that it will be same thing. All we need to do is have faith and apply it. Hence, Krishna consciousness is not a cheap thing that you will get some very cheap, like Sahaji has tried to do and all these things. Something very cheap and quick fix solution. So we need to practice. We need to, because here Krishna consciousness is more about developing our relationship with Krishna. Can I develop some quick relationship? इसको ऐसे कर दो, ऐसे फटाफट आपका relationship इसके साथ बन जाएगा. Just like sometimes we see advertisement. I don't know much details of that, but if you go travel and train in Bengal, you see कि आपका कोई relationship issue है, कोई ये सब है, तो हमारे पास है ये वशीकरण. I don't know what they do. I have no idea much, but I see that I'm just trying to pay some few money and they will do some. They'll solve all your issues. So these are someone starts thinking that let me solve my issue with that. They'll be finished, because this, even if it is solved, I don't know what they do, but even if they are able to solve, that solving will be just for a very short time. It won't work. Can you think that I can develop relationship with someone by doing some vashikaran or something? How can relationship? So no relationship can be developed but like this. It has to be years and years of sacrifice. Radha Swami Maharaj says that to develop a friendship with a devotee, it takes how much years? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. Right? So we should not think that relationship can be just developed like that. So with a devotee it takes like that. So for Krishna, why do we think that I can just become Krishna conscious like this? Supposing quick solution, quick. Fatapat like that. You have been so many lifetimes you have been away from Krishna, and you have shown to Krishna that you are not at all interested in him. You have been always speaking against him. You have been showing envy towards him for so many lifetimes. Now you suddenly want that immediately Krishna should have a trust in you that yes, you are such a wonderful devotee, you come to my home. It may be right? Understand? Going back to God is so cheap or what, that, see, it's not like, the difference between, we have discussed this, is the difference between going to Prime Minister's office and going to Prime Minister's home, right? For going to Prime Minister's office, you can qualify yourself, right? You can gain some, powers and everything. But that doesn't make relationship with Prime Minister, You will just say, ठीक है, आप office में आ गए, ठीक है, दूर से बात करो. And he may demand that because I have come to give me this, take this and get lost, Stay away from me, don't. But to develop relationship, it takes years, it takes decades, it takes, maybe lifetimes, lifetimes of sacrifice. One has to show to Krishna, Krishna, really I'm for you. I'm not going to give you up. To develop trust in Krishna. So hence Krishna consciousness cannot be a cheap process. It requires sacrifice for years and decades, right? Isn't it? If you have to develop trust in a devotee or any person in this world, isn't it true that you want to see him consistently doing, serving you or helping you, right? Isn't it? Then only you develop some trust now. If you see that only did something for 2 days, after that you develop full trust in him, ऐसा होता है क्या? नहीं होता है. So hence you need to understand that we need to really be consistently year after year after year, लगे रहना चाहिए. And hence, and what is the process? Process is same only, You don't have to do some new gymnastics. After now, the first year I did this, now second year I should do something special, something new. No, you do the same thing. But when you do the same thing with more deeper love and proper consciousness, it will only become more and more nice, right? So I've been doing the same process of reading Prabhupada books and chanting same Hare Krishna Mahamantra from last more than 19 years. But I don't see that it's going to be, it has been any time become like, बहुत हो गया, कुछ नया नहीं है क्या? It becomes more and more tasty, it becomes more and more relishable if you have right consciousness, right? Okay? Yes, for the next. So hence Kapila is saying that I am going to tell you the same old, very old process what has been given in Parampara, so the same Parampara. Prabhupada purport 1900. When we have a super excellent process already present in Vedic scriptures, there is no need to concoct a new system to mislead the innocent public. At present, it has become a fashion to reject the standard system and present something bogus in the name of newly invented process of yoga. Okay. So hence, we need to focus on what the Shastra says and not try to find something special new. Okay. Cheta khalu asya bandhaya muktaye chatmano matam guneshu saktam bandhaya ratam va pumsi muktaye. So now this is the definition of conditioned life. So what is that? The stage in which consciousness of living entity is attached by the three modes of material nature is called conditioned life. But when the same consciousness is attached to the Supreme Person of Godhead, one is situated in the consciousness of liberation. Okay. Prabhupada's purport is very nice. There is distinction between Krishna consciousness and Maya consciousness. Right? Guneshu or Maya consciousness involves attachment to three material modes of nature, under which one works sometimes in goodness and knowledge, sometimes in passion, and sometimes in ignorance. These different qualitative activities with the central attachment for material enjoyment are the cause of one's conditioned life. When the same Cheta or consciousness is transferred to the Supreme Person Godhead, Krishna, or when one becomes Krishna conscious, he is on the path of liberation. So, what is the whole issue of becoming attached to three modes? What is the main point? Where attachment to, for example, mode of goodness, let's say. What is the issue that one becomes attached to mode of goodness?
It becomes static, becomes satisfied here and enjoy.
What is the root point that which is making all this? What is the, you can say, essential point in this purport? That what is called as conditioned life?
Material interest for material. Material
Anchoring for material enjoyment. Perfect. So the main thing is attachment for material enjoyment. As soon as he wants to enjoy matter, whether it is through goodness, ignorance, or passion, it is called as conditioned life. You understand? Okay. So that's the whole issue. And when it becomes Krishna consciousness? When he want to serve Krishna. Okay. Very clear. And so we need to understand that the whole thing is that what is why we are doing what we are doing. Okay. So mode of goodness is good or bad?
It depends.
Depends on what?
Like whether we are concerned about our enjoyment or we are concerned about serving Krishna.
Very clear. Okay. So mode of goodness is good or bad depends. If you are saying, I just want to come to mode of goodness and be peaceful. Yes. Once I told that one person is practicing Krishna consciousness and he, after some time he was feeling so much disturbed that he started going to some other organization. And in the beginning he told that to this organization, I am seeing that my chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is improving also. So let me continue going there because now I am able to chant better. And then one fine day he kept going. And then one day he called Radhan Swami Maharaj in one lecture shares this. So he called Radhan Maharaj. He told that now I have come to such a state of of understanding and goodness and everything that I don't need to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, क्या हो गया? So that means the Krishna consciousness is gone only. So then what is the use of this goodness? This goodness is the biggest obstacle actually for this fellow. Right? So, and main reason this happened to him because he did what? What is the mistake? Primary mistake this person did. What? Loudly?
Associating with persons who are not Krishna.
Correct. The asatsang. Asatsang is primary issue. So don't think that some materialistic people who are not Krishna conscious devotee, they can give us something which can help us in bhakti. Sorry. Don't imagine these things. So don't try to read or hear from some goodness gurus. There are so many goodness gurus nowadays because people are so frustrated with passion that so many people have come with who advertise a lot of goodness. But don't imagine that goodness will going to help us. Or being passionate is going to help us. Or anything can help us. Only thing which can help us is what helps us to focus on Krishna. Okay. Aham mamabhimanotthai kamalobhadibirmalai etam yada manashuddham adukham asukham samam. When one is completely cleansed of the impurities of lust and greed produced from the false identification of the body as I and bodily possessions as mine, one's mind becomes purified. In that pure state, he transcends the stage of so-called material happiness and distress. Calm and lobha are the symptoms of material existence. Everyone always desires to possess something. It is said here that desire and greed are the products of identification oneself with the body. When one becomes free from this contamination, then his mind and consciousness also become freed and attain their original state. How many of you can experience this? What are the two things? Kama and lobha. Kama, lobha, it is, I am hankering for something material. ये चीज मिल जाए, बस ये चीज मिल जाए, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. So, so this is a contamination. Right? This is contamination. What is from where kama comes? Kam and lobha. Rajoguna. This is all coming from Rajoguna. So when one becomes freed from this contamination, his mind and consciousness also become freed and attain the original state. Mind, consciousness, and the living entity exist. Whenever we speak of living entity, this includes mind and consciousness. The difference between conditional life and liberated life occurs when we purify the mind and consciousness. When they are purified, one becomes transcendental to material happiness and bliss. So we don't have to kill the mind, we have to purify the mind. In the beginning, Lord Kapila has said that perfect yoga enables one to transcend the platform of material distress and happiness. How this can be done is explained here. One has to purify the mind and consciousness, and this can be done by Bhakti Yoga system as explained in Narad Panchratra. One's mind and senses should be purified. Tat paratvena nirmalam. One's senses must be engaged in devotional service to the Lord. That is the process. The mind must have some engagement. One cannot make the mind vacant. Of course, there are some foolish attempts to try to make the mind vacant or void, but that is not possible. The only process that will purify the mind is to engage it in Krishna. The mind must be engaged. If we engage our mind in Krishna, naturally the consciousness becomes fully purified. And then, and there is no chance of an entrance of material desire and greed. So hence it's very, very important that we learn to take. Yesterday we were discussing on this. Learn to take responsibility in Krishna consciousness. Because what happens by taking responsibility? What all things happen?
Mind gets absorbed in Krishna.
Mind gets
Absorbed.
Serving Krishna.
absorbed in Krishna consciousness. What it results in?
Mind is controlled.
Mind is what it results in?
Purified.
Purified. Mind is purified. Anyone here mind contaminated apart from me? Mind is some dirt. So we need to understand that mind will not be clean if suppose we are only engaging our body in service. Right? Sometimes it may so happen that हमको ये सेवा दिया, हमने ये सेवा कर दिया, और कैसे कर दिया? Somehow the other कर दिया, ठीक है? बॉडी को एंगेज करके खत्म कर दिया सेवा. सेवा क्या हो गया? Finish. So when we do like that, then what is happening? Maybe our senses are getting purified because at least senses are getting engaged in Krishna service, but mind is not. Mind is still there with matter only. So throughout the service, our mind is still thinking of matter. You may think that no, my mind is not thinking of this, but is mind thinking of Krishna and pleasing Krishna? Yes? No. So if it is not thinking of pleasing Krishna, then mind is in Maya consciousness. So that's why taking responsibility is very important, because it makes the mind absorbed in Krishna consciousness. What else? Why else we should take responsibility? Yesterday, some points we can note down. What is the benefit of taking responsibility in Krishna consciousness?
It intensifies our attachment to Lord and its devotees.
Intensify our attachment. Why it happens? Because mind is attachment कहाँ पर आता है? Mind में ही आता है. Mind is becoming absorb. That's what's happening. And also another thing is happening. Now our ego is also getting engaged. When you take responsibility, that means you start now identifying. Just like suppose someone here is preaching coordinator. So now he starts thinking, what? I am preaching coordinator. Now ego has become like more of okay, I'm servant of Krishna. That is the purpose of post. I'm now servant. This is my service. My service is to coordinate. I'm kitchen in charge. So then the ego is now engaged. Now my ego is that I'm no more Ankit Singh from Nasik and mechanical engineering, IT Kharagpur. More than all these things, now I am kitchen in charge. Kitchen in charge means, the definition of kitchen in charge is what? I'm a humble menial servant of all devotees who try to organize prasadam so that everyone gets prasadam. Isn't it? So the false ego immediately becomes now aligned with Krishna consciousness. You understand? So now it's becoming true ego. Clear? You take responsibility, then all these things happen. Next, what else happens? And in that way, because mind and ego is becoming now more and more Krishna conscious, so that's why the attachment is becoming in more and more, because attachment is right here. Yes, what else? Or they're taking responsibilities.
The mind is saved from materialistic engagements.
Same thing. Controlled in Krishna consciousness and saved. Okay, maybe it's separate point, because here the point is mind is purified, and here the mind is, you can say, mind is saved from materialistic engagement. So because of that, what happens? Further contamination don't enter, right? So one is becoming purified, another is that we are not letting the contamination become in. What else? Anything else? This happens by taking responsibility. Even more important than these three. Okay,
Listening
something.
to
Yeah.
Krishna.
This, when you take responsibility in the mission, then actually we please, we please Guru and Krishna. This is very, very powerful. Because we have discussed this point, like Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling to Haridas Thakur, what he's telling? That so many people are doing so many sinful activities. How these people will be delivered? How these people will be delivered? And what Haridas Thakur is saying? What Haridas Thakur is saying? Right? He's saying that, my dear Lord, please do not take anxiety. I am there. So this is, and Prabhupada explained in the purport there to that verse, that this is the duty of every devotee in Krishna consciousness, right? To tell to the Lord what? Chinta na kariye. My dear Lord, आप चिंता मत करिए, हम हैं, हम लोग जाते हैं, हम लोग जाके आपके बिहार पे प्रचार करेंगे, हम लोग करेंगे ना, आप चिंता कर रहे हैं. So when we take responsibility like that, then no, I will go, I will do this. Not even anxiety, similarly in voice, water services are there. Not even anxiety, how this, how these wonderful devotees will be, taken care of, and how now the, what is that, LPG is gone, how the devotees manage their life and everything. So Lord is always anxious to make sure that devotees are happy. So what is devotees' duty? भगवान आप चिंता मत करिए, मैं जिम्मेदारी ले रहा हूँ. Right? I am taking responsibility and make sure that things happen in such a way all devotees are happy, right? So then what will happen to Lord then? When someone tells to Lord like that, how Lord will feel? Very happy with him, no? Yes or no? You understand? Such a big thank you very much. And now one may say that, okay, Prabhu, we are talking of Lord, but I don't see Lord coming and telling that he is so much anxious. But Lord comes and tells us through his devotees, right? So that's why we should know that whenever any devotee, especially yesterday we were discussing on I am devotees, but not only I am, if any devotee who comes to us, they tell us that, Prabhu, can you do this service? What we should think?
Yes.
Krishna is animal, right? He wants to be serving.
What we should think?
Lord is coming.
We should think that Radha Govindji has come, right? When someone is coming, let's say Saurabh Prabhu is coming and telling Chaitanya Prabhu, Prabhu, can you do this seva? What Chaitanya Prabhu should think?
Lord is coming.
You should think that Govindji has told Saurabh Prabhu to approach me, right? Okay, so it is Govindji desire that I do this service. You understand? So once one sees like that, then immediately you'll be inspired, no? What do you think, Anandra? Suppose Govindji comes and tells you, like, I'm not joking. It's a fact. Suppose Govindji comes and tells you that can you please do what is that?
Dinner
Floor cleaning. So suppose Govindji comes and tells today's dinner floor cleaning is there. And today devotees will take prasad little late. And then dinner floor cleaning will happen at 9 o'clock. And Govindji tells you all these details also. So what you will tell to Govindji? My dear Lord, I sleep at 8:40. I am not going to come here. You want to do, you yourself can do it. Will you say like that? What do you say?
Okay.
Okay, you say.
कर दो मैं.
Okay.
I will do.
That's all.
It's my greatest opportunity.
If Govindji comes to you, Govindji directly comes to you and tells you, Thane, you have been chanting my name, I have come finally. And you told me that please engage me in your service. So now I have a service for you. What do you say? No, Lord, not this one, Like that you will say? Okay, anyone else want to answer? If Lord comes to you, Shubhashish Prabhu, and tells you that please do this service, what will you say? Jagannath comes to you, sorry.
It's a great opportunity that and thank you for giving me this opportunity that I am getting a chance to please you.
You'll be excited, no? Hari Bol! Say, Govindji, you yourself have come, Jagannath, you yourself have come, I have been worshipping you. And what service, you want me to do whole night service, I'll do it, what is the point of doing anything else now in life, Everything I am doing is to please you. Now you are pleased and you are asking me to do something, what else I want to do? Yes or no? Right? So we should learn to see like that, the devotees are like it. Okay? And when we do that, then we actually develop. We are developing what?
Relationship.
We are developing trust in Krishna, that he may accept us in his home, in his service. घर में जाके obviously, if Krishna is convinced, then point is that going back to Godhead is this is the process. Because घर में आप, अगर आपको घर जाना है भगवान के, घर उन्हीं को लेके जाएंगे भगवान जो सिर्फ भगवान को प्रसन्न करना चाहते हैं. नहीं तो आप at max वैकुंठ में भेजा जा सकता है आपको, ठीक है. If you think that you have become so qualified devotee, go to Vaikuntha, stay there. घर में मत आना, मेरे गोलोक में मत आना. गोलोक एक बहुत इंटीमेट प्लेस है, वहाँ पर सिर्फ भगवान की लोग सेवा करते हैं.
वैकुंठ में सेवा दास सेवा में जाना
हाँ,
होगा.
ऐसा जरूर नहीं है दास से भाव, जिनको दास से नहीं, शांत भाव में भी रह सकते हैं वैकुंठ में. वैकुंठ में बहुत तरह के devotees रहते हैं. There is different kinds of muktis also. There is a general devotion and reverence. That's why they have entered into Vaikuntha. But not necessarily that they have, they want to do anything. Whatever we do only for Krishna's pleasure, like that. This kind of attitude is not always there in Vaikuntha. Because there is so much awe and reverence. I am saying that one can become qualified to go to Vaikuntha, but one can never become qualified to go to Golok Vrindavan. Okay. Going to Golok Vrindavan then you cannot be qualified. You can say that, oh, I have a devotion to Lord, and and I want to serve only. So can't I go to Vaikuntha? Lord says, yes, you come. Stay here. What do you want? I want Shasti Mukti. That means I should have the similar opulence like Lord. I want Sarvatra. Okay, take 4 hands also. Anything else you want? No, I'm happy with this much. And I'll worship you here. Worship. No. You want me to come to you? No, not needed. You can be in your place. I will stay in my own home and worship your deities. Okay, fine. Be there. So like that. But Golok Vrindavan is not like that. Golok Vrindavan, there is a पर्सनल होम ऑफ लॉर्ड वहाँ पर बहुत इंटीमेट भगवान के साथ प्रेम चल रहा है, तो वहाँ पर भगवान सबको नहीं लेंगे. इसीलिए गोलोक वृंदावन जो हम लोग गोल बोलते हैं, फॉर दैट वी नीड टू डेवलप दीज एटीट्यूड्स, राइट, वेरी डीप एटीट्यूड्स वेयर कृष्णा इज डेवलपिंग ट्रस्ट. ओके, दिस फेलो इज रेडी टू टेक एनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फॉर माय प्लेजर. कृष्णा डेवलप ट्रस्ट, ठीक है, इसको घर में ले सकते हैं आप. But this is only little bit. Whether a devotee should serve in such a way that Krishna should want you. That's why do not try to see Krishna, serve Krishna in such a way that Krishna want to see you. Krishna want that, ये कब मेरे घर वापस आएगा? I want to take him back. Right? Okay, so this is very important. That's why taking responsibility is not a detail that okay. क्या करें, शायद प्रभु जी यहाँ पर क्लास दे रहे हैं, टेकिंग रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, कुछ वॉइस में शायद रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेने वालों की ज़रूरत है. समटाइम्स डिवोटीज फील दैट, डोंट वरी, दैट इज नॉट नीडेड. इट इज नीड फॉर मी. It's need for me to take responsibility. If I want to advance in bhakti, I should take responsibility, because then the mind will be absorbed. Then only I will intensify my attachment. Especially for people like us who are ITMs, who have so much passion to do something. Right? If you don't do for Krishna, as third point, very nice point spoken. You don't do for Krishna, you will 100% take responsibility for Maya. Right? If you don't identify yourself with voice and the devotees, then what you will do? You will start identifying with something else. Maybe you may say that, I am not connecting to hostels. So something else then you will find. But somewhere you have to identify. You need ego to be identified with something. So hence, this taking responsibility helps you to identify with Krishna. Ego is engaged. And in that way, slowly you start thinking of I'm Krishna himself, I'm OC, I'm PC, I'm IM, I'm DT himself, I'm this, that, something. And in that way we are, somehow or the other our mind and senses gets purified and become very good. And most importantly, and more important than these three is fourth thing. Okay, that we are actually developing real relationship with Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. If there are any questions, we will take during Prasad. की जय, और प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल.